Hey TYT, I'm Nomi Const. We are here at the Labour Conference in the UK in Brighton, where we are covering Labour politics and the progress that's infiltrating the Labour Party with its new leader, Jeremy Corbyn. Something fascinating came out of this last election, an organisation called Unseat. Now, Unseat's founder, Beth Foster-Ogg, has come up with this brilliant concept to go after bad actors, bad acting MPs. Sounds a little familiar. There are similar organizations out there in the United States right now, not quite the same mission or tactics, but I think there's a lot of cross the pond advice we could give each other and learn from each other. So first question is, what inspired you to start Unseat?
So during the general election, Momentum, which is the organisation I work for, were doing lots of canvassing. We were mobilising hundreds of people to go out to their nearest marginal, going canvassing, and the important thing was that they weren't just asking people how they were going to vote, but they were trying to have the space of conversations. So we ran these incredible trainings which were teaching people how to talk about policy, how to have the space of conversations, how to empathise with people, and it was a really, really powerful tool. So we saw places like Battersea, where we had people come out of their houses who had never been involved in politics before and knock on their neighbours' doors and say, I really care about, this election because of what's going on locally with education, with housing, with the NHS, and I would like you to vote Labour with me. And we saw how powerful it was because we swung seats that people never ever thought we could win. So places like Canterbury, which have never been a Labour seat, people were queuing up from 7:30 in the morning to vote, and we won. We saw the power, and we thought we can't just let this all disappear after the general election. There are some Tories that are still MPs, and they really, really shouldn't be. They have a politics that's archaic and is, really damaging people. So we decided to do the Unseat campaign. So basically, we've been doing these massive weekends where we get people together. We get them to go to somewhere like Putney or Broxtowe, where there are MPs like Ian Duncan Smith and Boris Johnson, people who have said that they are against abortion, against gay marriage, people who have made drastic cuts to disability services, all these kind of things. We're going there with hundreds of people, training them up in how to have space of conversations, and then knocking on doors and asking people to support us, basically, in unseating those horrible MPs.
So there's a little bit of a difference in terms of campaign style, partly because the elections are unpredictable here, and they're a very short period of time, whereas in the United States, we know when our elections are set for the most part, and they tend to be very, very expensive. So in terms of very strong field operation, how were you able to build something so quickly and have people trained and ready and equipped with the proper message to go after these, as you said, these archaic, Tories?
Yeah. So the way we're doing our campaigning is, by getting as many people there as possible, mobilising hundreds of thousands of people, and we don't have very much money doing it, so we're using lots of technology. Things like we had My Nearest Marginal, which was a website where people could type in their postcode, find out where their nearest marginal seat was, where there was a Tory that we could unseat.
What does marginal mean?
So it's like a swing seat, so there's a very close margin. So we're saying find your nearest marginal where there's a Tory that we want to get rid of. Catch a lift with other activists going up there, so people could offer their car and you could catch a lift with people from your local area to go and campaign. So we're really making it into a network, so people sharing, getting places, meeting new people. It's very sociable. We always have big parties after we do a campaign event. We're also using a lot of social media, so lots of videos that go viral because they really go to the core of what the issues are and what people are experiencing in their lives. And through that, we're getting more and more people involved, and people, seeing that they can have power and wanting to be part of the movement. And we also do a lot of texting and phone banking people to that constant contact, and really showing people, look, you care about something and we have a way for you to have an impact and actually change something. So I think it's that hope that people can actually do an activity, and it's not useless. They will get something from it, and a change will happen, which really makes people want to get involved and want to come along.
In terms of the message, you're saying that you're reaching out to people who may have been disaffected, uninterested, didn't feel as if the Labour Party represented them anymore. What in your message has changed? What are some of the most fascinating aspects of your message that are encouraging people that you would have never thought would be, for the Labour Party?
I think what we're talking about is, in the 2015 election, the Labour Party stood on a message that was quite It didn't offer much hope and vision. And what our message is that we don't have to live under the system that people have told us we have to live under. We don't have to have austerity. It's not necessary. It's a political decision. And the way the world works and the way our society works doesn't have to be like that. And showing people, through our videos and through explaining policy really simply that, this situation doesn't have to be like that. And I think when people can see how their actions will have impact, that's when they want to get involved, because they can see, actually, yes, Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party and this political movement would really change my life. It would give me a free education, it would give me free healthcare, I would be able to, be supported by the state, I would be able to go all the things that we want people to have. I would be able to get cheap train tickets around the country because of nationalising the railways, all these things. People can see how it will impact their lives, and that really drives people.
Last question I'll ask you is at what point does the Unseat campaign become extinct?
Well, when we win.
How many wins do you need?
Theresa May has a majority of 3 MPs, right? So we need to get rid of 3 MPs before we can be in government. So we basically want to push an early election as soon as possible, because we don't think that working people can live under a Tory government for another 5 years. So we really want to put pressure on these people and get people to put pressure on their local MPs and say, we're not happy with you anymore. We don't want you, because Labour Party need to be in government basically for the good of this country, for the good of the people, and to really make some real change.
Beth, thank you very much. Thank you for your work, and hopefully we can get some advice for our organizations in the U.S. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.